uh, I'll hand over to Mr. Girish Hiramat, and now I'm handing over the host rights to him as well. Over to you, Mr. Hiramat.
Thank you so much, Colonel Prasanna. Good morning to all of you, all the faculty members, dear students. Welcome you for a special session of the series. I would like to start with the presentation. Hello.
Yes, we can see your screen now.
Yeah, PPT screen is available now.
Yes.
Today's session, entrepreneur mindset. We think, what is entrepreneur mindset? It's all about attitude. Does this picture is triggering some thoughts? The moment you see picture, there are many things are running, lot of thoughts. It all ends up in attitude. Yes, these days, most of the young generation would like to become an entrepreneur. Yes, some people start with a job, fancy job. Over a period of time, maximum about 2-3 years, you see some people thinking, oh, I have this quality, there is a scope, why I should not be entrepreneur of my own. So when that happens, people think that what I should do.
Introduction के time पे खाली हम रखते हैं.
This reminds me of a story. I would like to take you through a simple story. It's not a story, it's an actual thing happened, or where I am involved with that particular success story. I have a friend in Pune who was my ex-colleague. He is basically an engineer. I was working with the chemical process industry, attained his master's degree. Then because of his attitude, as I said, the mindset is nothing but attitude, is to be helpful to people. So he thought, let me not remain as an engineer just to manage machines. I need to add value to people. So he thought HR is the right profession. So he took up HR, then worked in different companies, and about 10 years ago, he decided to become an entrepreneur, do something valuable which adds value to his dream. Sorry. So in Pune, they started a business of providing skilled manpower to the men who require taking on contract. In 3 years, they realized there is a scope to do a business of helping people to get equipped with the new skills. Today, any skill what we talk would be about, just a moment, I will have to mute some people over here. Of this audio is disturbing. Hello. I think now others are on mute. Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Colonel Prasanna?
You're audible, sir.
Hello.
You are audible, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thanks for the feedback.
Yes.
Let me continue. They formed a group who started a MPTA education, which is focused on providing training, preparing them to go for industries, industry-ready, skill-based training. They started adding value to the career of many people using Hello. Hello, Professor Prasanna. I think there is some other noise which is more dominant.
அந்த அடிப்படையில் தற்போது தற்போது நடைபெற்று வரக்கூடிய இந்த மருத்துவ வல்லுநர்களுடனான அந்த ஆலோசனை கூட்டத்தில் தமிழகத்தில் தற்போது இருக்கக்கூடிய சூழ்நிலையில் இந்த கொரோனா பரவல் எவ்வாறு இருக்கிறது அதை கட்டுப்படுத்துவதற்கு அரசு மேற்கொண்டிருக்கக்கூடிய நடவடிக்கைகள் எவ்வாறு செயல்படுத்தப்பட்டிருக்கின்றோம். அதே நேரத்தில்
Professor Prasanna, do you think it will
அரசு மேற்கொண்டு வரக்கூடிய நடவடிக்கைகள் போதுமான இந்த நடவடிக்கைகளை தீவிரப்படுத்த வேண்டிய அவசியம் இருக்கிறதா என்று சொல்லலாம். மருத்துவ வல்லுநர்களுடன்
Can we go ahead? Can we move? Can we move on? I think now the sound is mute. Yes, these are the challenges we have to encounter. Unforeseen things. That's what we are going to talk today. Unforeseen things. How do we manage those things? Yes, continuing the story, this team started that skill-based training. Over a period of time, they realized that many of their clients require a long-term stay facility for their visitors. Especially the automobile industry people have a lot of guests from Japan and some of the European countries. And those people who come on a visit would prefer to stay independently, prepare their own food because their kind of food may not be available in hotels. So they found a scope for providing guest house facilities for those organizations. They started this service apartment in 2013. They started one facility and now they have 5 facilities. They had employed their own skilled laborers, started one more stream for service industry. So they use their own facility for training purpose before they are placed in some of the hotels and some other banquet facilities. So that's how they went on adding the business lines. That's what I feel consider them as a right entrepreneurs because they did not stop at one business since once it started making a profit, but hunger for growth, hunger for making a difference, their passion for doing something unique could drive them to the different businesses. However, this story will continue at the end of the session. Before that, I would like to take you through some background about the mindset that to entrepreneur. Here are some definitions. Sorry, waiting for the slide transition. Hope all of you have referred best of the textbooks. These are the very popular definitions, what you see over there. It's definitely a startup or new enterprises, a small business unit, maybe an individual, or couple of people come and join, or four become a partner and start a business. These are a popular statement, but I would like to draw your attention to these words which are underlined. Do they sound something unique? So these words typically characteristics or behavior of people. They are not jargons. So what does it say? The being entrepreneur is a concept or a jargon. This all depends on behavior. So in today's session, we are going to touch upon those behavioral aspects. What make one as a successful entrepreneur? Who is he? How does he become successful? So when I continue the study, then I zeroed on certain factors which influence creating this atmosphere of being an entrepreneur. So what makes a person a successful entrepreneur or any business setup? There are three factors what I realized. One is self, the individual or people who want to start a new business unit. As a self, the knowledge what they carry, the skill sets, habits, attitude, passion. Others is the other people around who make a difference. That is team, in their team who would be working with them, the products, what they would like to make, what kind of product they design, the services they provide, and the stakeholders, probably the suppliers, clients. Probably we can have control on these two factors, but there is one more important factor called environment. They are mainly competitors, which we don't have a control on them. The competitors today, we think there are two people, but we don't know how fast there may be some more. The resources, typically who would be joining your team over a period of time. The cost is again one more thing driven by multi factors. The society which is going to use your product or services, and very important thing in environment, the adverse situations, adversity on which we just don't have a control. Hope you also agree that these are the key factors which would influence any business enterprise. So if you see, there are certain, most of things are key behavioral aspects, some of the situational aspects. Let us see how these factors can be controlled if they're away from our control, which are not in our control, but how do we manage those situations? Or if they are the self characteristics, how do we take us to advantages of running the business? So I thought we can put all these things in a pyramid structure. The pyramid pillar is like this. The focus, opportunity versus risk, the passion, and habits. It is very similar to the triangle for success. Hope you must have heard of a success triangle: skill, knowledge, attitude. I thought these four elements are base for building a mindset, becoming a focused entrepreneur. So they are habits, passion, the risk-taking capacity, and focus on which we make. Let us see the first one, first component, that is focus. If you want to start any business setup, what should be my priority? Should I start a business just to make income, earn money, or business should be a passion with any in a person? Ask the question, what is the success for me? If at all I have to be a successful business person, do I attribute them to more profit or volume of business, how much I grow, how much money it makes? Or are you passionate about how many people do follow my brand, how many people like my services? So again, the focus where should I pay attention? I would like to just debrief this, demystify this focus concept with an example. Think you would like to start a restaurant, a food chain. Would you be keen on setting up a process just to make sure that there's a good saving, a good profit margin, or your priority should be on creating a good ambience, a high standard of quality, the best service to the customers when who walk in, and the variety, the choice for the customers when they walk in. So what do you focus? So that decides the destiny of that particular business. Definitely income is required, profit is required. Along with that, you need to see the other soft aspects, which are very strong roots for sustenance of any business. So this is one element. Let us think over it, and we will touch upon some more examples how these key components have helped those successful entrepreneurs. The next one is the opportunity versus risk. Every situation in society gives us opportunity. Yes, we are there to do business. Do we need to grab all opportunities, or do we need to look at a risk, what is involved? There's one more component of behavior of any person has to think, and a balance. Of course, every opportunity is a hope. Can we do anything without a hope? Yes, if we are hopeful of doing it, definitely we pay attention. But every attempt, what we make or experiment to set up any establishment, it comes at a cost. That's why I'm just bringing it to both the things, that how do we balance? There is opportunity, but it comes with a risk. Yes, there is a cost factor. Nothing can be established without experimenting and making attempts. So that there a cost is involved. How much cost goes? Oh, you become a lot of analysis on how to do, how much to do, when to start, how much it cost. Oh, it is taking a lot of time. Sometimes you may feel it's a speed breaker. Yes, definitely. But there is again a time factor. When do you utilize your opportunity? Do you think opportunity shouldn't be missed? Yes. If it is missed, if it spend more time on analysis, it is like opportunity is lost. Because there is a market, there is a competitor, anybody can come and establish before you bring in your product, before you bring in your service. You don't know if the bus already is on the road, there may be few passengers to take your bus. This reminds me an instance of my friend in my native who wanted to add one more business line to his established business. He was looking at a kind of opportunity which has to be very unique, because people walk into my establishment to buy certain hardware things. But should I start one more business in the construction related industry? There is a good scope to distribute construction chemicals. And he was very passionate about a quality product which has to be very unique, which has not been done by anyone in the market. So he found that as an opportunity, and immediately he started a particular construction chemical business. Now it's a second line of business. Before somebody started, he has started. I will take that particular example to the next component also. So I was very impressed the way he utilized the opportunity. Yes, there was a risk that he has to do investment, and the very cost sensitive market, the product is expensive. But that is again, it's a unique quality of an entrepreneur, how he drives a business. He's only worried about profit and the volume, or he would like to establish a name for it. So again, the focus. So his focus was on having a very unique product, first timer in the town, so that before somebody is there, I can add value to the people who build a house. The next component or element is a passion, which drives anybody's success. Again, as I said, the person who introduced construction chemicals, his passion for quality, his passion for unique thing made him to think, study, which is required to introduce or start that business, helped him to focus on that. Is very emotionally connected to a particular business. He made all efforts to make sure that business is established. He takes a dealership from the manufacturer and started selling that product. Yes, what are those core elements in passion? It motivates to overcome obstacles. Any obstacle is not seen as obstacle because that becomes a motivation. The passion drives and always driven towards the goals. Goals never get faded. Always passion makes sure that anything comes in between, they make again the goals are very clear. They have decided this is a destiny I have to reach. The goals are always clear. And the passionate people have a lot of creative mind. Each one of us have a creative mind, but do we employ that? The passion is the thing which triggers creativity, which enhances creativity. So that's why I found passion is one more core element of a mindset of any entrepreneur takes his journey towards success. What is the fourth one? In the pyramid, there's the most impressing factor, which I was very impressed in my experiences in a lot of behavioral trainings. I have seen, or in my experience, met people, they say that there are certain habits make me successful. That's why I realized, how do we build habits? Habits means it becomes an unconscious behavior. Initially, we are very conscious, should I do this, should I do not to do. Once we know that this is a success formula, it gets converted into behavior. The behavior becomes a habit. Habit is something which we are not aware. It happens just by itself. The habit, they continue. The people who don't stop at the success or some kind of reward, they keep improving. Their habit is, oh, I've done like this. I think there is scope to do something because I have to do for my user. Oh, my customers want this kind of a thing. There is something I need to improve upon these things. The habitual people are very self-motivated. They take any kind of a situation, adverse or a scope situation, which they get motivated. The habit of doing experimentation. Should I stop at something which I feel that now I have achieved? No, habit of doing experimentation help people to evolve a lot of new ideas and thoughts, which that benefit can be passed into their user or beneficiaries. As I said, the creativity is a core component of those successful entrepreneurs. The mindset is like that. I need to be creative, find out different solutions. I'm giving this service. Can I be a very unique person to them that, oh, this is a service they may require at next level of business. I have to be creative, do some kind of research, go to them and add value to the services what I'm doing it. And one more habit I've seen, the successful entrepreneurs are one who are very transparent and democratic in their approach. It is typically an administrative style, the management style, the transparent and democratic. It represents a quality or approach of a business which they don't hide anything. They would like to be very straightforward in putting forth things. Yes, we are meant for this. We do charge so much for this because this charge is justified because A, B, C, D. These are the 4 benefits I would like to provide you. So this approach helps people to start trusting. Hope if you have become loyal to a certain brand, you just review your decision making, what made you to decide on a particular brand, particular purchase. Definitely you would like somebody who must have given you a right kind of analysis, where he's very, very clear and transparent in his feelings. That's where you become a loyal to a particular shop or particular business entity or any product or service you take. So this is again one more key aspects of any mindset, is that being democratic and transparent in approach. Just I would like to draw your attention to the instance of Kasab. Hope you all remember Kasab. November 26th, a Mumbai incident. The only person the police could catch him alive, and a lot of trials went on. So many criticism was there that why he's provided the special food and all that. But somewhere, some of the intellectuals who were expressing it, I shared with them that my displeasure over the government approach, that why so much of time should be given, special treatment should be given. Then they gave me a thought that as a nation, we should prove that we are democratic in our nature. That here, everybody is given a fair chance. Yes, there are different school of thoughts. Let us not see, but yes, everybody is given a chance, and every proceeding is made public to the people. So that's where people start trusting in system. That yes, there is a system. They don't hide anything. Oh, whatever they do is very transparent. So that's one more key component or element of any entrepreneur mindset. Have seen all these people with this nature are very successful. Is mindset fixed or a growth? Should we stay with a fixed mindset? Yes, this is what I want to do. This much I should do. Once I do this much, I should look at consistency in that. Or any entrepreneurship is a growth oriented. Very interesting phenomena. When I do some of the reviews in some of the journals, popular journals, I could see the both sides of fixed mindset and growth mindset. The fixed mindset is called, it's a static intelligence. The growth mindset is always a development oriented. How do both mindset perceive the situation? If there are challenges, the fixed mindset thinks, let us avoid it. Let us not do too many things. Now we are very comfortable here. We should be focused. Obstacles, no more efforts. It takes a lot of time. Leave it. How do they make efforts? Oh, no point. Why should we look at it? Criticism is seen in the same way. Other success is seen as threat. Oh, these people are successful in the market. Should I do this? Oh, then I don't know when there will be a challenge for me. Whereas growth mindset people, they love challenges. They go and hug it. They make more efforts, motivate the team to look at these are the avenues, these are the opportunities over the competitor. Let us work on this. The criticism, they take it as learning. These are the good things we can start doing it. And their success, they celebrate other success. Hope we must have come across both type of mindset. So what makes us different from fixed mindset? Do we have all these kind of qualities that where we need to focus on growth? For sustained growth, as I was talking in the focus concept, we need to focus on profit alone, or do we need to set a kind of a standard that is which ultimately brings into the visibility? Should we focus on visibility or building a brand image, or should we focus on profit? Yes, there is a particular study a concept which I'll be presenting it after this slide. For a sustained growth, both are equally important. We need to grow as brand in the market, and that should be substantiated by a good amount of profit, which again motivates us to do good things or add values in the same product line. So visibility, profit, both are important. So focus has to be on both sides. But some of the people, and I would like to draw your attention. Other day, I was having a discussion with Professor Shrikant Murthy, and he shared his study or experience with a popular corporate house in India. These are the Ambanis as a family. And this I heard from Mukesh Ambani also, that he attributed his success to the visionary or setting a brand in the first place, then look at the profit. The same thing happened with both the brothers. You may be differing it, but if you see all the stories coming around both the brothers, Anil Ambani and Mukesh Ambani, Anil Ambani's business establishment were more focused on a profit, what we make. Let us utilize the opportunity of growing in terms of profits. That's what the markets do speak. If you see the Mukesh Ambani enterprises, they looked at creating value to the customers first, building a strong foundation for their services. Probably that may be supported by the technology, building a right kind of a skill set people to handle those service promises. So those things were established. Once those things are at very high level, so that gave them the very good visibility, a brand loyalty, and that image helped them to have a lot of loyal customers, a lot of customer followership, which helped them to stabilize their profit. Hence, the Reliance Group today, if you see, their strong roots are because of there's a proper approach or focus in the beginning days. So that is a success factor today on both y-axis and x-axis. Visibility side, they are very strong, and profit side also they are going strong. This is very similar to a concept called BCG matrix. Hope all of us, you have gone through this concept of BCG matrix, Boston Consulting Group. Dogs, stars, cash cows, question marks. This definitely, you'll get a lot of details in the net when you refer textbooks. So this is substantiated by the BCG matrix concept also. So when I was going through the sustained growth, so again, I would like to come back to you after touching upon all these key elements, the pyramid and the type of the mindset. I would like to supplement with a couple of more stories to strengthen your belief in these key elements of mindset, which are for a successful enterprise. Hope you, all of you, immediately remember the success story of this. There are many case studies on this particular brand, ID. This brand was case study for many B schools, many corporate trainings, mainly because of the product and services. To summarize, this brand was launched looking at the opportunity. This brand or this service was launched in Bangalore in 2006. The opportunity was in Bangalore. There are people of IT background people, both husband and wife would be working, and there are so many bachelors, student community, and you also, most of you stay in the PGs, don't have time to prepare. Making a batter was a difficult thing. So they realized there is a scope in this gap that if there can be a batter, people need not to go to the restaurants to eat. Health conscious people would like to prepare food at home. The gap was availability or preparing a batter. So they realized there is a scope to introduce a good product which make somebody's life easy. So that is the kind of services they took, packaged in a such a way that easy to carry, keep in a refrigerator and use it, make dosas, quick dosas, which are healthy. There are nice kind of oil you can use and just go ahead for office. And they went on improving. They didn't stop once people started buying. They improved its packaging for the sustenance of the quality, the package for making it easy to carry, and they started adding a lot of products to their line because people started realizing in South India, most of people like vada. Vada is not easy to make. So how does we can fill that gap in the scope? So they did a lot of experimentation to develop a small nozzle to their sachet. That nozzle gives a shape when it is squeezed. It gives a good shape with a hole in between, which is what we see generally in the hotel. A similar kind of shape of the vada can be prepared with this simple looking sachet, but very good experimentation has gone. That is the entrepreneur's mind, which doesn't stop. They see how can I make somebody's life easy? How can I add value to somebody's services by which they start following? Like that, there are many success stories. There's none other than Mr. Mustafa and his team. And there is one more product which is not seen here. All of us were very happy with instant coffee. But these days, most of us, after coming to Bangalore, some of you must have been from different state. People used to drink a lot of instant coffee. But after coming to Bangalore, people become obsessed with filter coffee. Not only local people, even I have met and heard from people from different places of North India. They say, no, I like filter coffee. So now they have brought in one more product, a filter coffee that is decoction, ready decoction, a similar kind of a sachet with a knob to it. Use whenever you want, pour in a hot milk, and remaining can be kept in the refrigerator. No need to use filters, put a coffee, make a decoction. Everything, the solution is provided. So that's what the entrepreneur's mind always looks at it, opportunity to help somebody provide a right kind of a service, then people give me more profit. So these are the stories which the ID stories everywhere available. But I thought, wherein I am personally involved, I am convinced with some of the small startups who are enjoying as entrepreneurs. They impressed me with their mindset. There is one more general, there's a Vega. Just I'm talking to you about kind of a using opportunity aspect what we spoke. Vega was known for creating accessories in automobile industry. Especially they're popular in their helmets, then the luggage carrier and all that. During this pandemic, they realized there is a huge demand for face shield. Seen in shops, hospitals, and many other the government offices. Now, face shield is also made mandatory because now the latest recent study says the virus is airborne. So that created a huge demand for shield. That's what Vega was the first to do it. Now you see Vega has product in that segment. I would like to quote nice interesting story of one small enterprise started by Mr. Prashant and Felix in 2018. Before that also, they were in the business of consulting. And they started with an investment of 75 lakhs. With about 20 people, they started making the machineries to clean, degrade the grains and food for the farming community and some of the superstores that help them to pack and all that. They were doing quite good business. They were unique in their approach of giving a good design. But during the pandemic, they realized some of the shops are closed and people wanted a lot of things in packaged condition. The loose products were not in demand because people don't want to go and buy and pick. So there was huge demand for the packaged things. And some of the demand for the machinery was not that much, but their strong desire to sustain and grow made them to look at opportunity, what else we can do to our customers, wherein they had provided the machines. So they took at a service to the customers, visiting to their plants and taking up the consulting business, help them to grow, sustain their business. They upgraded their technology. They did a lot of trainings for their employees, utilized this particular pandemic situation for upgrading the knowledge, which helped them to improve services and providing technical knowledge to their client base. That's how this entrepreneur mindset never stop. They look at a growth. Their passion to set a global standards made sure that they design very unique machines and which are required for packaging things, which was not there in line. So they introduced that particular packaging thing. Today, they are known for their unique design machines. So that's where they have created visibility for their machines. So they are known, DMAC is known, oh, that's a good looking machine with wonderful service. So that's what they are set a benchmark. So these are the unique qualities which help them to be successful. There is one more interesting story. The Patil Polymer Products, who were very happy in making water tanks and some of the components for electrical motors, grinders, and some of the home appliances. Very good business was happening. Usually March, April, May is a construction season wherein there will be a lot of demand for water tanks. They were expecting a very good season this time, but all of a sudden, because of the COVID pandemic situation, the market conditions changed. Whatever inventory they had got piled up, no demand for water tanks. Then a lot of raw material is with them. Some of the payments are pending from the dealers. So what to do? Should we close a business? Yes, no. There are people who thought of that, but this particular entrepreneur, a young engineer, a master's degree holder in business, Almesh Patil, thought of coming out with a unique product which would fill this gap and really need of the hour. That is a safety goggle, which is required for many professionals during this time. Doctors, public servant who are in out in the field for serving the corona patients, and the people who work in industries, carpenters, bead carpenter, the masons. For everybody it is required. Safety concept was not that much. He decided there's a need of the hour and help people to have a safe work conditions. So that is the vision, that I need to bring in such a unique product. I need to be unique so that people recognize me and I fill in the gap, need of the hour, what is there for the society. So that helped him. For your surprise, today, in just 3 weeks of this inception of this particular concept, they have 2 lakhs pieces order in hand, which they never dreamt. Yes, they are not fixed mind that, oh, this will be the new business. They expect this business for 3 to 4 months. They know that there may be competitor, but they say that we'll not be fixed with this product. We want to grow. We have some more thoughts in line. Hope these two very small enterprises enthusiasts, they substantiate the belief that what we had, these particular characters of a entrepreneur. And I would like to end this session with a story which I had left, or which I had stopped in the beginning, about 4 partners who had started manpower services, then MPT education, then they were into guest house, service apartment. That organization is called as Amigo Hospitality Services. Amigo is a friend. The synonym for Amigo is a friend. So they wanted to be a friend to their clients. They don't want to have a client and vendor relationship. They thought we have to be really a service provider. We need to be a friend. Hence, the concept of this service apartment started. That's where they started with the 5S facilities. Today, about 50 rooms, well established, making good profit. But again, like everyone, they also got affected in March, April. Industries were shut down. Their clients said, so sorry, for next 4-5 months, till things improve, we don't want your manpower. Oh, we may not be able to use your facilities. Situation is challenging. These entrepreneurs felt, oh, nice opportunity to do something. That's when the creative mind started working, looked at opportunity. There is a need for daily home needs. People require farm foods, fruits, grains. And they could see in the villages, the farmer has grown many things, but he is not able to take it to the market or take it to the end user, consumer, because some shops were closed, some of the establishments were not allowed to operate. So these people thought there's a right opportunity for us to take this challenge and be helpful to people. So they moved out of their established business, the comfort zone, which is some completely new, the distribution or agriculture. So they moved. Now it's a success story again. They are very popular people who are providing the farm fresh food to the people in and around some of the suburbs in Pune. And in just 2 months, their turnover has touched 6 lakhs. Next 2 months, they're expecting it to 9 lakhs. And 20 of their people who were dependent on them or liable to them, today they are earning good salary because of this new service. And the rent they were paying for their facilities, 5 guest houses, now they have been converted into a stock room. So that's what the entrepreneur mind worked, utilize the available resources, train them, take it as a challenge, move out of the comfort, which is a core aspect for any success. And their collaborative mind created many entrepreneurs. 5 of their supervisors who were holding a land in and around Pune, now they are given opportunity to grow certain kind of fruits and vegetables and start providing to these people. And now these people are signing agreement with importers in European countries for exporting exotic fruits and very specialized vegetables from Pune. So now that is going to be a new business venture called Enuro Foods, where they have created some more entrepreneurs who were employees. I call they are the right entrepreneurs who never stop growing and who never grow by themselves. They also help people to grow along with their success. Hope this impressed you also. I was very much impressed with these kind of success stories, and these 3 or 4 case studies helped me to consolidate all the behavioral aspects of successful entrepreneurs. So that's what I was motivated to title this session as Entrepreneur Mindset. Hope you enjoyed, and I wish you also to have a right kind of a mindset where you decide your destiny and be successful. Thank you so much to all the students, participants, faculty, and the director who thought of giving or extending these kind of unique sessions to their students. Personally, I thank Colonel Prasanna, Professor Srikant Murthy, Dharmendra, creating this wonderful platform to get connected with you all. And I'm through. Thank you so much. Over to you, Colonel and Professor Srikant Murthy. Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Now, may I request you to hand over the host rights to me, please? Thank you very much, Mr. Girish. Can I request you to stop sharing? You will find a button in the center. You have to click that and stop sharing your screen. Yes, thank you very much. Right, so all the participants, we take this opportunity to thank Mr. Girish for his wonderful talk and motivating all of us towards entrepreneurship, giving some insights and a few very good examples from the industry. That is something which I would put it as the highlight of the talk today, where he has shared some very good examples from the industry. So theory we all learn in the class, but then what adds value is the industry examples that he has given. Thank you so much for this enlightening talk. I would now open the house for people who have any questions. Kindly raise your hand, and then I'll take your name, unmute yourself, and talk. I mean, in the sense that ask a question and then mute yourself back again. And then Mr. Girish will respond. So any questions, please? Please feel free to ask your questions, students especially. Yes, I think Narasimha Murthy sir has a question to ask. Is it Murthy sir? Do you have a question to ask?
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Hiromet. It was really indeed a very special presentation, very good presentation. In fact, we are all teachers of entrepreneurship, and you gave very good examples. And you also gave so many suggestions as to how in difficult times it has to be handled, an organization has to be handled. And one thing I wanted to ask you one thing, what should be the strategy of new startups which are suffering a lot because of COVID? And many of them are on the verge of closure. We can't hear you, sir. Please unmute yourself.
I have to be, okay, my speaker is on now.
Yes.
Mic is on. You are able to hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Professor Murthy, if you see those examples, they were also in the same situation. They were into products where they were providing services to the different kind of needs. But during this kind of a difficult situations, which we are facing, all of us, all industries in last 4 or 5 months, made them to think of a service which is required for that particular situation. All these three establishments were focused on, not focused, they were into a different line of business. They changed their business. Yes, they did not have kind of a specialization at that time, but they invested their time on equipping themselves with those business skills and technical skills if it has to be manufactured. For the amigos, they did not have to spend more time on upgrading their technology, but it is more of orienting their mind towards accepting that we were doing this kind of a services within the 4 walls. Now we have to extend our services, go out of this comfort situation, go to the field, which we have not done, adapt to that, bring in the products and serve it. So it's all just mindset which help them to come out of their established business and add value and started generating a revenue. That gave hope to those employees also that yes, I could see many people were suffering with no job. At least our entrepreneurs or our bosses are able to give us a scope to do this. And even the other business what I talked was a small company where they were manufacturing water tanks or this food grain cleaning instruments. They never thought of servicing. They thought we are only specialized in designing products and giving it. They never thought there is a scope for doing a consulting also. They had a good technical knowledge. They thought now it is time for us to go and visit their places, help them to improve their efficiencies of machines, improve the efficiencies of the way they set a process. That's how they engage their employees also to do a lot of technical services aspects to their clients. So that's how they engaged. That's one thing is that there cannot be a fixed business line. Earlier, we used to plan, make a strategy for 10 years. Some time ago, we thought we cannot plan beyond 5 years. And today, we cannot have any fixed plan for even 3 years. We think there is a good road for this, but we don't know how long it will be because there may be one more challenge or that road may end. Hope you also appreciate the concept of many new, the best ideas which were there for 5 years ago, they are no longer existing. So I think only thing is do something new which I had not done earlier. I think accepting that is the only change will help people to come out of the situation, difficult situation, and utilize our strengths.
Thank you so much, sir. Very enlightening. I think Murthy sir would have got the answer, and everybody else has benefited. I have sure benefited for one. Any other questions? Anyone that has that you are requested to now ask, please. For the benefit of everyone, I have shared a link in the chat box. Everybody is requested to click on that link and share your feedback with us. That will be very helpful in organizing such talks, such enlightening talks in future as well, and gives us a real insight into what are people looking for and what are their expectations and so on. So since there are no more questions coming forward, I would take this opportunity to thank Mr. Girish Hiramat, an eminent HR consultant who has enlightened us on entrepreneurship mindset. Thank you very much, sir. And thank you, participants. Thank you, professors, for attending. Thank you, Dharmendra, sir, for giving us the technical support, and all the participants. It's available on YouTube. The recording of this session will also be available later on our channel, on the college channel, official channel of our department, and also on the LinkedIn page, in the Facebook page. So you can, those of you who have not been able to attend, you can share with your friends, they can see it on that link. All right, thank you very much everyone for attending. I am now ending the session, and see you all later. Bye-bye, take care.
Thanks to all the students, director, the faculty members, especially Colonel Prasanna, Shrikant Murthy, who was in touch with me and helped me to get organized this session. Dharmendra for his all technical support. Thank you once again. Have a wonderful day and wish a successful entrepreneurs out from Dayanand Sagar College.